Houston continues to prove they are ready for a playoff push. The Denver Broncos have won 4 straight. The Eagles win the Super Bowl rematch. The Steelers lose a close fight, but fire offensive coordinator Matt Canada. And Dallas continues to rout bad teams. Episode 12 starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 12 of the Two Dudes podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Freak.
And I'm Babs. Week 11 is in the books, so let's talk about it.
Holy shit, Babs. Week 11 has come and gone. This football
I'm not
season
gonna lie.
is
My
going a
favorite
little
week.
bit too fast.
That was my favorite week of the year.
Really?
I don't know why. Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. We'll go ahead and start this segment off with the Steelers.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I'll say this before we get too deep into the segment. This week, we're not really going to focus too much on the specific games or the games that we mentioned. It's mainly going to be specific topics about those teams, or we're getting later into the season, so playoff implications are going to matter the most, as we mentioned with Houston. So that being said, the Steelers lost by 3 to Cleveland, 10-13.
And you know
Was
what?
not
I
a
do
pretty
have to
game
say,
at all.
It was a smash mouth game.
It was
a good game.
all
I
all
can't say
defense.
it was a defensive game. It was a good game. Cleveland, DTR, bro. He kind of
He played
did his
better
thing,
than
I'm not gonna lie.
his first start, yeah.
Yeah, he did way better. He felt he looked a lot more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and that's expected. You know, he's a rookie, so he had some more weeks of practice and everything. So I think he felt more comfortable with the offense, and it really showed. Didn't have a great, outstanding, crazy performance, but he did enough.
Right.
Um, Steelers ran the ball really well. That's really it.
Yeah. I mean,
My highlight was this morning when I woke
right.
up.
That's
And I
the main thing that
they
we want
fired
to
Matt
talk
Canada.
about. Yeah, that we want to talk about when it has to do with when it comes to the
I've been
Steelers.
asking for this all season.
I mean, everyone's been has been asking for this since the beginning of the season.
Yes.
But I mean, me and you were saying if anything, it was going to happen either before or during the bye week. Neither of those things happened. They tried and pulled him out of the press box and put him down the field. Won 2 games, give them that. But
So I do understand why the Steelers aren't a team that does coaching changes in the middle of the season. This
right,
is the first time the Steelers have fired a coach, offensive coordinator, anything along those lines since 1941.
right,
And it was in 1941 it wasn't a coach that got fired. He was a coach, but he was also a co-owner of the team. He removed himself from the coach position.
right.
So it wasn't like they fired. They don't do this. So for them to do that means they understand that like they're out of options.
Mhm,
You know,
definitely.
when
Um,
you get a team to fire you after, and they don't fire people in the midseason. Um, Running back coach Eddie Faulkner is going to
mhm,
take over as the OC. Quarterback coach Mike Sullivan will be handling play calling, so they'll be kind of tag teaming it.
yeah,
Um, a lot of rumors are out that they will be talking. That I'm pretty sure, can't confirm. I think they're giving these two guys a shot before they decide on anybody else. Bringing somebody in, they want to give these guys an opportunity, which is cool. These guys are good. I don't know what their backgrounds are, on that, but Byron Leftwich is right now the front runner to get that spot.
right. My sense of it is that they will promote within the staff right now,
Yeah,
of
they'll give
course,
them the shot. I
during
mean,
the
now,
remainder of the season. Um, I would probably see it's more likely that they hire an offensive coordinator if y'all get into the playoffs after once the regular season is over,
I think
or
if they're
the just completely once it's the off season. So
if
y'all
they're gonna
have
hire somebody, they're gonna do it this week or next week. They won't do it late in the season. If it's not, if they
yeah,
don't hire
that's fine.
somebody within the next week or two, then they will wait till the off season,
Right,
which is cool. I understand they want, it's hard to change an offensive scheme in the middle of the season. I get that. So
right,
I'm not upset with this. But what this has Kenny Pickett now has to be able to prove himself. Um, I and everybody, I'm a Kenny Pickett fan. I think Kenny Pickett's great. If he doesn't do something this season, they need to move on. That's just me. They got to move on. If Kenny Pickett doesn't show improvement this year, they got to move on. This man went 15 for 28 for 106 yards. Um, I watched multiple plays in the Browns game alone where and this is where the wide receivers are starting to get frustrated. George Pickens, there was 3 plays I watched. He ran a 10 yard hook, right?
mm,
Receiver was 5 yards away. No, not even close. Pickett didn't even look at him. He watched Jalen Warren out of the backfield the whole way and just tossed it to him. We got 2 yards.
mm.
He's not looking. He's looking at his running back as his main target, and this is why we're not getting 100. We're getting 100 passing yards when you don't look at your receivers. And it's to a point I like Kenny Pickett, but if they don't do something, Mason Rudolph has better stats than him through as many games. More wins, more passing yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be interesting
it's
to see like
like, and everybody keeps giving this.
where they go with his development
Yeah,
here on
and
without Canada. I mean,
don't get me wrong. I'm not just trying to bash Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett's cool. I was all in freaking vouchers. I was super hyped they got him. Everybody gives the well, out of all the NFL quarterbacks that are playing this year, all 33 that have started, Kenny Pickett has the least amount of turnovers than any of them. That's because he
yeah,
don't throw the ball down the field.
yeah,
Like Trubisky throws interceptions, but he's not afraid to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, he's taking chances.
Pickett doesn't throw the ball down the field.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think his longest pass was to was it week 1 against the Browns when he threw to Pickens?
yeah.
But wasn't that was only like a 20-yard pass?
Mhm.
He doesn't air it out at all.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't
He doesn't.
this season. I mean, he did late last year. He was airing it out.
If you're
But
scared to throw the ball, you don't need to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see out of him. I want to see him throw the ball. And don't get me wrong, it could have been just the schemes they were running, and we might go next week and just be like, holy shit.
I think a lot of
You
it
know what I'm
had to do.
saying?
I think a lot of it had to do with the vanilla type of offense that Canada ran. I mean,
Yeah, and
he-
I think the reason that they did get rid of Canada, I think the final straw was this week. If you heard after the game, the players were frustrated, wide receivers, the running back,
Yeah.
everybody was frustrated because they were like, we didn't even try to run the ball on our final drive.
right.
Running the ball, they had more running yards than we had passing yards. Why? Jalen Warren had 9 carries for 129 yards. Why are we not running the ball?
Right.
We were
Right.
murdering them on the ground.
So final thing. I'll play this. I think it's probably the same. I don't know if it's the same video that you played, but it's Tomlin talking to the media about the announcement of letting Matt Canada go.
I made a change at the coordinator position.
Yeah.
Did not
I
come to
think-
this
I think
decision
he
lightly,
said it
to
really
be
well.
really transparent with you.
I
It's just a
think- I
personal
think
belief of mine from a
the way
leadership
Tomlin
perspective.
handled it
It is
shows
my
as a
role
coach. I
to
mean, he
absorb and
literally
protect,
didn't even try to blame Canada for
those
it.
that I work with. And
So.
this doesn't feel like that. Obviously, I'm not interested in assigning blame or deflecting in any way. It's more in my natural nature to absorb, to be quite honest with you. I've been in this role so long, I'm quite comfortable absorbing. So just rest assured that this decision was not taken lightly. I got a lot of respect.
Freak, did you get disconnected over
for
there?
Matt personally and professionally.
No, I'm playing
It's not
the
easy,
video you played.
but I thought it was necessary. This is a result-oriented business, and to be short, the improvements were not rapid enough or consistent enough for us to proceed. You got to score touchdowns in this business. You got to win games in this business. And just the totality of it has us where we are today.
Yeah, that was. No, I like that video that you had played before we
Yeah.
started. No, it was very well
He handled
said.
that really well. Yeah.
Mhm.
He didn't throw blame. He, like he said, it's his job to take on the blame. It's his job, and I get that. I do give them. I mean, I know that it's a hard situation for them because that's not something they do, but they know they got to win.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's them and the Ravens in y'all's division right now. I mean, Cleveland's still in it, technically with
Cleveland's
the
up on
win.
us now.
so
The only, we split the season with them. We took one, they took one. That's no big deal. As long as we
still got Cincinnati twice and Baltimore once more.
and with Burrow going down, who knows how that's going to play out.
Right.
If we could beat the Ravens one more time, that's a good thing for us. So
Play them Sunday.
We're still in it, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
good because with this switch, this might rejuvenate, just like Raiders. When they made that switch, they're rejuvenated. They started playing so much better.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can get some kind of rejuvenation out of this and see. I'd love a 400-yard game. Love it.
And it's gonna.
I would love one.
The biggest thing that I would expect is a more modern offense.
And that's really
Or,
what
or I mean, or you can take an older style offense, but I mean, have a little bit of tweaks to it. Don't make it so vanilla. Like,
yeah.
all right. Houston. They just continue to win.
Right. Right now they're They're right behind Jacksonville
Mhm.
at 6-4. I I think when me and you said that they're gonna probably make a playoff, they're gonna get a wild card. I think
I think they still have a
really.
chance of winning their division.
No, they absolutely do.
I don't trust Jacksonville that much.
Mm-mm.
Um,
See, now they play Jacksonville this week.
exactly.
That's gonna deter if
And
they beat Jacksonville.
the last time they played each other, Houston beat the shit out of Jacksonville in Jacksonville. So it's
Yeah.
in Houston this week. So, this
So
right. If they
Texans,
sweep
I feel
Jacksonville,
like if the,
this gives
yeah,
them the division.
the division. I feel like if they beat Jacksonville this week, you're right. It's gonna give them the division. They'll hold the tiebreaker for that. I
Hmm.
mean, I just feel like Hu- Houston surprised everybody.
Right. I mean,
If DeMarco Ryan doesn't win Coach of the Year,
yeah, dude.
if
What?
he doesn't,
No, D'Amico Ryan is he's definitely winning. Definitely. I mean,
he should. I
mhm.
I don't know. We can't really praise him much more. We've been praising him for like 4 weeks now.
He
I don't know what else we can give him props on.
he is a defensive coach, and he had 2 first-round picks in the draft. One of them he traded up for. Um, this man right here is he's just smart, and he knows football.
And it's not even that. His players will play for him.
Like,
They will give it. I saw the game they what game was it that they came back and won last minute? Was it Cincinnati?
yeah, they won. They
Yeah,
won off of a late field goal.
Because I believe what's his face threw an interception.
Mm-hmm.
He went up to D'Amico Ryan and he's like, "Don't worry, coach, I got you." And he was like, "I believe in you," and they won. Like when you say that to a fucking rookie quarterback,
Right.
that
I
man's
mean,
gonna go out there and bro.
like CJ Stroud is just he's lighting up the league. He's leading all rookies. He's gonna be rookie of the year. That there's
And
no
he's in the talks for MVP.
right. He's in talks for
Like,
MVP. I mean, he
MVP
keeps
rookie of the year and coach of the year, bro. What? All in, bro. Houston's, bro.
like like
We
if
thought they were gonna need a year or two.
they're gonna they have the offensive pieces. I think they still need a few more pieces to
Oh yeah, absolutely.
to
They don't have like
say that they're Super Bowl contenders. They're definitely a playoff team.
Yes.
They've already proven that because they won how many games last year? 3.
Mhm.
They've already doubled that this year. No one expected them to win 6 games this year.
No, they get a good running back. I think. I mean Singletary's good. Don't get me wrong. But if they get that real,
I mean, they keep playing like they're playing now. They're not going to have no high draft picks anymore.
I don't think they need it.
But I mean, you guys still got to think about it. They probably still have draft picks from trades and shit. So
Yeah, so I think if they're gonna keep doing this good, and then they're just gonna get better. I don't
it's
think this is like a one-hit wonder team where they do
No,
amazing
no.
one year, and then I think they're gonna keep getting better.
no Houston's. It's going to
They're
be
gonna
Houston
stay
and
in the top.
Jacksonville in that division for a
Yeah.
while, and Indianapolis once Anthony Richardson is healthy and comes back. Because I mean,
Yeah.
he was playing well too.
I mean, hell,
If he didn't get hurt, Indianapolis might be in this conversation too.
Indy's still in the wild card hunt.
So, exactly,
They're 5-5.
because Minshew's playing well, so they're
Yeah,
not.
he's playing really well.
I mean, well, on that note, we'll go to the Broncos. They've won 4 straight. They have
I don't know
the
what
the
hell.
longest win streak active right now. Like that's insane.
I don't know what the hell snapped in them. I don't know what happened. They lost by 70 and became new people.
Exactly.
Maybe they just needed that smack in the mouth. But
Like
I mean, they're playing good.
The Broncos are now 5-5.
I
They're
see Russ.
they're
I
right
see
back in it.
Russ.
They're in the wild card hunt now.
Russ is. I mean, he's still not playing old Russ, but he's playing better. He's getting out the pocket a little bit. playing on the move, which is how he plays best.
Exactly.
Um,
He's
it was a good game
he,
too. That was a real good game too.
yeah, it was, and it came down to the last play, just a toss up to Sutton.
Yep, that was a
Dude,
good game.
Sutton made so many plays that game. He had 2 touchdowns. The first one was fucking crazy. That it was called incomplete, and then they reviewed it. This dude was full sideways
Yep,
and had both feet inbounds.
it's crazy. Like I think the Broncos are 5-5 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
There's
there's kind they're in the talks for
it,
wild card.
there's a lot of teams that are making the NFL so much better. Like a lot of teams that are normally, or at least the past few years, haven't really been that good at good
So
teams.
so
Houston,
if the season ended right now,
Broncos.
Baltimore, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami win their divisions. Cleveland, Houston, Pittsburgh all make the playoffs. Bills are out one game; they're at 6-5. Indy's right at barely out, and Denver's barely out.
Mm-hmm.
Like like all the way down to even the Raiders are still in contention. They're
Yeah.
5-6.
I mean, it's AFC is going to come down to the wire. I think the NFC is kind of like
The NFC's not even close.
the top. Yeah, like the
The
top.
top 7 teams are have at least 6 wins. Everything under there is 4 wins.
Exactly. So
AFC there's 12 teams with 5 wins. In the NFC there's 7 teams with at least 5 wins.
yeah, it's
So the AFC's that could come down to the last week.
exactly. It's oh man,
And I'm excited for that. Like the NFC,
it's making for some exciting football.
It's gonna be Eagles, Detroit, San Francisco, Saints, Cowboys, Seattle, and Minnesota.
Yeah, right now, if it ended right now, yeah,
If it ended right now.
yeah,
But you got to think anything under Minnesota only has 4 wins.
exactly.
So I mean, it's kind of wrapped up. As long
And,
as
and
these
if
teams,
Minnesota, they started the year at what 1-4.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, they've completely turned their season around.
So like
Oh.
the NFC's kind of we already know who's gonna make it. Like, but AFC, man, anybody could just come in out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, out of nowhere.
So close.
So it's gonna make some interesting December football, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the NFC, last night the Eagles they win the Super Bowl rematch. We both expected the Chiefs to win this game, but I mean this game was expected to be a dogfight, and it was a dogfight from start to finish.
Yeah.
Both teams come out
This game was
3-and-out.
boring.
I mean,
It was,
I enjoyed the game, because with how the weather was and everything,
well,
it was
yeah, I'm saying
it was
back and
expected
forth,
to be
but it
this
was
close.
Like, man, like, can we make it a little more entertaining? Like, it was just I just had bored.
I didn't talk about Taylor Swift, so
That was
she's
nice.
on her tour, so that was a fresh take of some football and everything.
Maybe she needs to come back because Kelsey hasn't gone over 50 yards in a couple weeks.
Dude, the fact that you mentioned that, I was watching, I think it was Get Up or whatever, and they were bringing up his stats with her in attendance, and then compared to when she's not, and he's averaging 45 yards a game when she's not at the game, but when she's there, he's averaging almost over 100 yards.
Yeah, they might need to holler at her because I'm gonna stop putting money on Kelsey.
But I mean, she's on her tour, so
She better cancel that shit.
she wouldn't even be back. She wouldn't even be able to make it to the Super Bowl
Yeah, I know.
if they make it. So because her tour is going to be going on for months.
They better put a picture of her up there or something.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta do something because he is not.
Yeah, he better send a advisor to Apple and see if they can integrate their Apple Vision in it so he can FaceTime her and shit.
No, maybe they just get one of the holograms. Put them holograms up there. Be like, oh, she's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta do something. But no, I mean it was a good game. Just kind of.
Yeah, and I mean,
I was out of the two teams, I was expecting a lot more.
mm-hmm.
I was really expecting a lot more of I thought it was gonna be a higher scoring game, honestly.
Right. I mean, there's
Both defenses played well.
right. There's some things that that were said about Kansas City today during first take. Shannon Sharp mentioned that people aren't afraid of the Chiefs anymore, and I kind of agree.
No, I agree.
Because the Chiefs don't have any weapons outside of Kelsey.
No.
And when your receivers can't get separation, or you can't consistently just hand the ball off, and Mahomes can't do what he normally does because the pressure, then
I
mean,
will say though, Isaiah Pacheco is looking good.
yes,
He's starting to come into his own as that number one. Justin Watson played good too.
yeah,
Him and Rashid Rice as well. I think they need to go to him a little more. Both of them were catching the ball pretty nice. Like they were hitting some good catches. Rashid Rice, man. I think those two. And you're right. They do need something else because like it's coming to a point where everybody's just gonna start double teaming Travis Kelce.
right, and
they need some outside help. I get bringing McCole Hardman back, but he's not doing much. But he's still back. Give him a week or so. But Kadarius Toney, they had so many high expectations for him. I don't think he's it. Like I don't think he's as good as they were hoping.
right.
They don't have that true number one.
Get I
some
think
pressure off of Kelce.
I think Rasheed. I think for Rice, he's not a big receiver.
No, he's just
He's
fast. He's like
a
a
small.
Tyreek Hill.
Exactly. I think that they did that because they wanted to fill that missing void that Tyreek played in their offense.
And the good part with
But the thing that they had with Tyreek Hill,
still young.
right? But with Tyreek Hill, they had a number one receiver and Travis Kelce, so they had three targets that they actually can go to and rely on.
I think if they can get a playmaker receiver along with Rice and Kelce, I think they'll be okay. But they just don't have that playmaker. They were expecting Kadarius Toney to be that playmaker receiver. He's not.
I'm gonna make a bold suggestion here. I think Kansas City in the offseason is gonna make a push for a big name receiver.
Yeah, they're probably gonna get CeeDee Lamb.
No. I'm gonna throw out maybe a couple names. Stephon Diggs.
I can see them trying.
Devontae Adams.
Definitely can see that.
Or Mike Evans.
Well, Mike Evans is a free agent after this season.
Exactly.
I think if they got Mike Evans, that'd be fucking dangerous.
Exactly. And I think there's more to what's going on in Buffalo than their up and down season is saying. I don't think Diggs is going to stay there too longer. And if Kansas City was to come with an offer or whatever,
I honestly
Buffalo
feel like,
might explore it.
I think Mike Evans, honestly, in my opinion, would probably be their best bet. Like that would be the best thing for them because you got to remember how good Kelce played, or not Kelce. Remember how good Mike Evans played when he had fucking Brady throwing to him and
Mhm.
Gronk on the team.
Mhm.
Just, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Kelsey and fucking Mahomes.
I mean, that's the main reason why I mentioned him. His
Honestly
contract's
think,
up at the end of the year.
I honestly don't feel like he's gonna go back to the Bucks because they did
Hmm.
him dirty, not re-signing him this year, not giving him the extension, and he gave them every opportunity.
Yeah.
Like he was willing to take a pay cut. So I think, honestly, I don't think he goes back to the Bucks. If he does, I'll be super surprised.
Mhm.
So I honestly feel like Kansas City would probably be the number one spot for him.
I totally agree.
You know, so yeah, no, I could see Adams or Evans there.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Diggs going there too.
I could too. I think Buffalo would try to get too much out of it. I
Probably.
don't think the Chiefs would give it up.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, they're
Um.
winning games without a number one receiver. So why go? Why throw yourself in too much of a debt to get them
Mhm.
when you could get somebody like Mike Evans, and not really have to give up anything?
Right. You're just
Because he's a free
competing with what
Yeah.
the Bucks are trying to offer.
And then you got to think Mike Evans is he's not old, but he's getting in his career where he's still in his prime, but he don't have as many years left.
Right. And
So
Mahomes is young, so
and then Chiefs are already established. That's the best case scenario for him.
mhm.
That's the best shot for him to win a ring.
Another one at least.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing to talk about. Dallas. I mean, they continue to just destroy bad teams. I mean, this game didn't look pretty offensively. Dak was 25 of 38. Didn't throw for 200 yards. He was 189, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. No turnovers. That's the main thing. Pollard's 12 carries, 61 yards. First touchdown since week 1.
Dallas started slow.
Very.
Like
So,
the game was close up until the fourth quarter.
it wasn't a good it wasn't a good game. An account
Their
for Dallas.
defense held them.
The defense did what they always do. They held them to 10 points. The
I think they
offense,
sacked fucking Bryce Young like 7 times
yeah.
or some shit like that.
Dallas's offense just couldn't get anything going until the fourth quarter. And then, I mean, we were aided with another pick 6 by Deron Bland. So, I mean,
That was going crazy this year.
exactly.
Just,
he
dude,
tied the NFL record with
Lord.
4 pick 6.
He's just playing like
Got
with
6
Diggs going
total.
out, with
6 on the
Diggs
year.
going out, he definitely stepped up.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely stepped up.
Like with the way that he's playing, we don't need to get a corner.
Honestly,
If Gilly was to leave Dallas at the end of this year and either retire or go somewhere else, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't panic because then we've got Bland on the opposite side of Diggs,
And I mean,
and they are both
he
ball
really-
hawks.
and he really did step up this year
Mm-hmm.
with Diggs going down.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
dangerous for teams when Diggs comes back.
yeah, he's gonna have some tough matchups. We got Philly in a few weeks. We gotta play Miami and Buffalo and Detroit. So those 3 games right there are big games that if we win against teams that we could most likely either see in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs, we'll say a lot about this team's potential to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Eagles Lions will probably be your toughest 2 games. Seahawks depends on who the fuck shows up.
Mhm.
You could get the good Seahawks or the bad Seahawks.
But I
You
mean,
never
luckily
know.
we're playing at home, and
Yeah.
Dallas has won 12 straight at home.
Yeah.
So
Commanders will be a good game just because it always is.
yeah,
Bills are another game. I mean, Bland might get his 5th pick six.
Yeah. I mean, with the way that Josh Allen has been playing up
He
and
loves
down and
throwing
everything,
picks.
it is going to be in Buffalo. So the one thing that I'm worried about is the weather.
Cold. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily the fact that it's going to be cold, because Dak and the Cowboys have proven that they could play in cold weather. They've gone up to Lambeau in the playoffs and played Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in some frigid cold weather before. They've played in cold games before, so I'm not worried about it being cold. I'm worried about it if it's going to be rainy or snowing.
Yeah. Snow's gonna be rough when it. And that time of
That's
year, it
that's
could
when
be
I'm going to be worried
snowing.
about, because I haven't seen Dak play in a snow game, and I mean, I'm not too
Can't
worried
wait to
about
start
this
watching snow
the
games,
rain,
bro.
but cold rain is bad. So
Yeah, I can't wait to start watching snow games.
yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So I mean, you guys got a decent little schedule coming out, you know.
Yeah,
But I think
we should be 9-3 when we face the Eagles.
definitely.
We should win our next 2 games.
I mean,
They're
you
they're
have
both
the-
Thursday
I mean,
night, so
honestly,
we've got
the only game, and I don't see you guys losing against the Eagles again.
it's gonna be at home.
The Eagles are honestly on the schedule are the only team that I think have a strong chance that could beat y'all.
Do we play Detroit in Detroit, or is that in Dallas?
It's in Dallas,
Okay, yeah,
so I don't. The Eagles are the only game that I mean honestly, because Seahawks you should be. Commanders always, because you guys always play the Commanders always play y'all well. And the Commanders have that, they're weird this year. They play good or they play bad.
right.
You just don't know which Commanders you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
The Commanders got spanked by New York, so
Mm-hmm.
that's
But
gonna
they're
be
also
interesting.
beating teams you don't expect them to beat.
Yeah,
Seahawks, I don't think y'all are gonna lose to the Seahawks. Eagles, that's up in the air, but I don't think you lose to them twice in the season. The Bills, I think y'all are more consistent than the Bills. I think your defense is better than the Dolphins' offense, and
Yeah.
your offense is better than their defense. Lions could go either way, but I think your defense could hold their offense in check.
yeah. I think our defense. I think that's when it comes to Detroit,
Lions
our
struggling
defense
against
favors.
strong defenses this year.
I mean, if you look at it, the past few weeks, the Detroit defense has been giving up 30 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you play like that and you let Dallas cook constantly,
Yeah.
I don't think Detroit can. I mean, they have the potential to go blow for blow for us with us, but I don't think our defense is gonna allow that.
Yeah, I think your defense can hold them in check.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think because look what the Ravens defense did to them, and I think your defense is better than Ravens. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. The entire league is gonna get interesting these next few weeks.
yeah.
December football is, I think, both of our favorite.
Yep.
It's I mean it's just
Love December
it's just the
football.
best it's just the best time for football. I mean, it means the most. Games become more
important.
important. They become more entertaining, more exciting.
You lose a game in September, it's okay to you can come back from that. You lose a game in December, it could cost you your whole season.
You lose the game late November, early December, or in December in general. It can ruin your entire
Yeah.
strategy going into the playoffs or whatever.
Yeah, it could knock you out of the playoffs.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Especially in that AFC where it's so close. One game could cost you your whole season.
yeah. Gonna be interesting.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up first segment. We can get into our power rankings. Got a few teams that stayed where they were. Of course, the Eagles remained number one with their win last night over the Chiefs. Replacing them at number two are the 49ers. Who did they play last week?
Niners weren't they on a bye week? No,
No, they already came off their bye.
no. They played.
They played San Francisco. Or they or
San Francisco played San Francisco.
yeah, they played each other.
Team scrimmage.
Yeah, team scrimmage, bro. And they won. No, they played Tampa. Yeah, that's right. They played Tampa. pretty apparent that they were going to move up to number two with a win, and the Chiefs losing. The Chiefs, they dropped only one spot to number three. The Lions, they stayed where they're at. They didn't move because they won a shootout against Chicago with Justin Fields' first game back, which was a pretty good game, back and forth. The Ravens, they stayed where they were at. It was a close. It was a good game and close when Burrow was still playing, but after he got out,
Yeah.
their offense didn't really go anywhere. So that's probably why they didn't move. So then moving up one spot are the Cowboys. They are sixth. I mean, they just keep doing regardless of how it looked. They beat the shit out of a bad team. So I'm with them going up one spot. I mean, honestly, I would probably put them over the Ravens, but
I would.
The Dolphins, they dropped one spot because they had a one-score victory over the 5-5 Raiders. So I'm fine with them dropping a spot because they probably should have done more against the Raiders. They could have put up 40 on them. They should have. That's what they've been doing against average teams this entire year. So that was kind of eye-telling to see how the rest of their season's going to go if they keep playing. They keep letting teams stay in the game the entire game.
Yeah.
The Browns, they stayed where they are. They didn't move. They're 8. That's fine. I mean, it was a defensive battle back and forth. You know, they only won by 3, so I'm fine with them staying where they're at. Jacksonville, they didn't move. They probably could have moved because they beat the dog shit out of Tennessee. Tennessee didn't score any points until the fourth quarter, I believe.
Yeah, the game was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was just over from start to finish. And then the Bills, they made the biggest leap. They go from 14 to 10 to wrap up the top 10 of the Week 12 power rankings. And yeah, they beat the shit out of New York. Wilson got benched.
He's now third stringing.
He is now not even the backup quarterback. He is the
backup for the backup.
He's no longer an active quarterback. The only way he plays is if both the starter and the second string get hurt.
They should have did that earlier in the season, I think.
That's crazy, man.
I think they waited too long.
You think?
I did. I really do think they waited too long.
I mean, Rodgers is still saying that he's going to come back, so
he's only coming back if they're in the playoff hunt. He said that.
Yeah, if they're in the playoff hunt.
If they're not in the playoff hunt, he will not be back.
That's smart. I think he shouldn't come back regardless because just shouldn't risk it.
No, I agree, but yeah, he said he will not be back unless they're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that wraps up the power rankings. Now, we did terrible this week, right?
We did dog shit this week. So I finished this week 5-9.
I didn't do that much better.
You did. You went 6-8.
Woo! 2 weeks in a row I
Yeah, you
win.
went 2 weeks in a row. So for the season, I'm at 96 and 68, and you're at 89 and 75.
Oh man,
You're still getting spanked, sir.
I'm 7 games back. Catch it up.
You don't have enough weeks to get 1 game a week.
True, I know.
I could literally just copy every one of your picks and win.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit, but I can do that. So you're gonna have to pick up some.
I'm gonna have to take some chances.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take some underdogs.
Yep. All right. Let's get into our
And
week.
this week's kind of obvious, so you ain't got many games you can see an upset. I mean, unless you want to go Commanders.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know, man. All right.
so
Let's start off with our Thanksgiving games, and before we get into anything else, go ahead and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your time with your families. Everything. Be
Some pumpkin
safe. Be
pie.
smart. Don't. That you shouldn't. That being said, the first Thanksgiving game at 11:30 in the morning. Green Bay versus Detroit.
I went Lions.
I went Lions here as well.
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
you already know.
Yep. Next one. Washington versus Dallas. And I'm
I
not
went Cowboys.
I'm not picking against my own team, so of course. Cowboys. Last one. Thursday night. San Francisco versus Seattle.
I went Niners.
I went Seahawks.
All right, trying to get a game up on me.
Yep. All right. The first ever Black Friday game. Friday at 2:00 on Amazon or Twitch.
I went
Miami versus the Jets. You went Dolphins? So did I.
Dolphins.
All right. This starts our Sunday games. Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. The first matchup.
I went
I already know you went Steelers. So did I. It's going to be the first
Burrow being
game.
out is rough.
First Burrow being out in the first game without Canada. It's going to be interesting to see how your
Yeah,
offense
I'm
looks.
really, if they don't have this game broadcasted, I'm snapping.
All right. Next game, Jacksonville versus Houston. We were talking about this game earlier. I went Houston.
I did too.
All right. Next game, Saints versus Atlanta.
I went Saints.
So did I. All right. Next, New England versus New York Giants.
I went Giants.
I went New England.
I don't. My only issue is they don't even know who's starting this week.
True.
Like they're so fucked right now. Like I don't even think Mac Jones cares anymore. Like
No?
if he's gonna be your starter, you keep having him start. Why you keep benching him every fucking game?
Right.
You're just killing his either get rid of him or stop starting him.
Yeah.
Like it's either that or just send him in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not gonna win when you keep starting somebody and then benching him.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It does nothing.
No, it does nothing for the team or the player itself. Next game, Carolina versus Tennessee.
I went Tennessee.
Yeah, I went Titans as well. All right. Next, this is the 3:00 games. We've got 4 of them.
You missed the game.
Did I?
Bucks and Colts.
Oh, I did. Tampa and Indianapolis.
I went Bucks.
I didn't go Tampa. I went Indy.
Oh shit! Trying to get 2 games.
Mm-hmm. All right, 3:00 games. The Rams versus Arizona. I went Cardinals.
You motherfucker. I did too.
All right. Next game, Cleveland versus Denver. I went Broncos.
God damn it. Are you serious?
Let's ride.
Oh, I went Broncos too.
All right. Next game, Chiefs versus Raiders. I went Chiefs.
Same.
All right. The last of the 3:00 games, Buffalo versus Philly.
I went Eagles.
I went Buffalo.
You went Bills?
Mm-hmm.
What the
Fuck the Eagles. I don't know. They need to lose at least one more before they face us.
It ain't gonna be that one.
All right. Sunday night, Baltimore versus the Chargers. I went Ravens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking, I don't know what's going on with the Chargers right now.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert looks like ass.
Not looking good. Monday night wraps up week 12. Chicago versus Minnesota.
I went Minnesota.
So did I.
Bro, I really went Broncos and Cardinals because I was like, yo, he's gonna.
He's like, there's no way. There's
I
no
was like,
way
he's
he
going
chooses
Rams and
them.
Browns, bro. I was like, there's no shot. I was like, I'm gonna take 2 games on him. Watch, and then you picked him. You some bitch. So now I gotta get the Bucks to win.
Pull the wild card on your ass.
Like I was trying to do the same thing to you.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 12 of the Two Dudes podcast. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe, smart. Enjoy time with family and friends and loved ones. Eat all the food that you can. Watch all the football you can. Go Black Friday shopping. I know a lot of people are excited for that.
Watch football. Watch all the football.
Yeah, eat all the turkey, ham, and stuffing. And
Turkey and football that's the shit.
oh yeah, brother. We are out of here, people. We love you.
Yes.
Thank you
Like,
again
subscribe, comment.
for all the support. We are out.